that scared me. Almost had a glitch there. But look here, that's what we call Club RIMAN. And so, look here, I'm going to get out of the way, turn it over to this wonderful individual just to kick this off. I want to put the spotlight on him because you need to see him. One, because of his beautiful skin and all of that. But look, he is the national director with this wonderful opportunity, legend in this industry. And for the guests, I know you don't even know what that means, but look, here's what you need to know about him. He has a heart of gold. He knows 150% of the facts of this business, loves to have fun, loves helping people, making an extraordinary amount of money. I'm serious, boatloads of money, shiploads. Make sure you say the P, shiploads of money. But outside of that, he's helped so many other people to just live their dreams, to become millionaires in this industry, and just helping people change their lives and helping them find their life from the inside out. He is a national director, international director to me, the one and only, though, Mr. Tim Herr. Sir, glad to have you.
You got me pumped up, Jermaine, already. I know everybody's going to be in for a treat tonight, man, because we're going to have a lot of fun. And I'm actually at a football field right now. I stepped away from coaching. I coach little kids football. I've been doing it for about 18 seasons. So I love giving back to the community. But, you know, to talk about RIMAN, I was just really blessed to find this industry at a time in my life where I was really looking for a change financially. And I know many of you right now, you're doing really well financially. So, you know, you might just be looking for a situation where it's like, hey, if I could offset the cost of living right now, maybe that might be what you're looking for. But when I saw this industry for the first time, it was 30 years ago. And at that time in my life, I was working at a go-kart track, making minimum wage. I was a senior in high school. I wasn't going to graduate. I knew that already. And I was just so worried about my future. And I figured that I was just going to be basically doing manual labor for the rest of my life. And if you do manual labor, I'm not putting down on that at all. It's just everybody in my life, that's all everybody did, right? All my family, that's what we all did. So when I got introduced to this concept, I was at a point where I was really looking for something. And when I met, my brother-in-law called me and he said, Tim, I met a really wealthy person. He goes, this guy's rich. He's easy to talk to, real cool guy. And he goes, you got to come meet him, you know, because he's going to help us make a lot of money. And I thought to myself, what? I'm open-minded, right? So I came down and I met this really wealthy man. I thought, man, I'd give anything to be able to get around him and find out what he knows. And my blessing came because this gentleman took a unique liking to me and he decided to mentor me and show me the books to read, taught me the changes to make in my life, and was able to, my first year, make $147,000 my senior year in high school. And I was like, I can't believe this is happening to me in my life. What a blessing. And, you know, that was 30 years ago. And now, you know, my biggest joy is helping other people succeed and helping them find the results that I was so blessed to be able to have and fortunate I was able to have because of the coaching and mentoring that I got. And basically, I got started in skincare industry probably about 15, 16 years ago. And for me, being a football coach, it was completely out of the norm for me to be. I never even used skincare. I would take a bar of soap and that was like everywhere on my body, my hair, my head, that was it. Like that was all I was doing. And when I saw skincare, I thought, man, you know what? I think this might work. And it just absolutely was revolutionary for me. And the biggest reason why was because I was able to attract people that I normally wouldn't be able to attract. And I found out how great women are at this business, you know, and it just dawned on me. My wife, I've been married now for going on 30 years here. And when my wife is happy, she talks. My wife is mad, she talks. My wife is bored, she talks, right? Women are just better communicators. So I thought, you know what, with these products, we could really do something. So we ended up building $1 billion company, started it pretty much out of my garage. And my wife was the only employee for 8 months. And my partner, Chris, and I went out there and just built that company. And we ended up doing $1 billion in sales. And we sold that business a few years ago. And my buddy, Mr. Danny Bay, had been calling me. And Danny's someone I've known for, you know, going on, 20 some odd years now. And I knew him when he was, you know, a teenager and was blessed enough to get a chance to work with him and, you know, share with him what my mentor taught me. And I watched him revolutionize his life. So when he called me about RIMAN, he just said, Tim, you know what? I'm going to send you some products. And I'm like, all right. He goes, he goes, there's this company, RIMAN. They've done $2.5 billion in sales the last 5 years out of Korea. And, you know, I'm going to come in as the president of sales, and we're going to take this thing around the world. We're going to take it to 50 countries next 5 years. And I just want you to check out the products, you know. And I put the products on. And the first day I went to football practice, my linebacker coach was like, Tim, your skin looks good. And I was like, what are you talking about, dude? Like, that was weird, Rick. And I was creeped out. And then the next day, my daughter goes, Dad, did you get Botox? And that's when I was like, why are people talking about my skin? And my wife goes, it's got to be that stuff that Danny sent you. And I said, there's no way a product in skincare could work that fast. But I called him anyways. And he told me the story of RIMAN, which you're going to hear tonight. And what I found out about was the 12 patents they have on their products. I found out about this giant Byungpul plant and how they were able to get access to water inside this Halasan volcano that you'll find out about tonight. And, you know, the United Nations made this a UNESCO Heritage World Site. And the gentleman that started RIMAN, he sprayed that energy water on the plants and it grew to be, you know, the size of your hand is normally the size of a quarter. And he patented this new plant, put this in-cell derm line together. And then he used this microfluidization process that nobody's ever really used in skincare before to be able to penetrate your epidermis, 350 times smaller than a hair follicle. So the product gets past your epidermis into your dermis, and it really, it's not skincare, it's skin repair, right? And it gives you that youthful glow. And I was blown away, right? Well, we're going to talk more about it tonight. I was blown away. And I kept looking at RIMAN and I thought to myself, man, this is an absolute home run. I go, you know, this is the next legacy company. This company's going to do billions and billions of dollars a year. And I'd be absolutely, it would just not be smart of me to miss it. So I said, I got to get started. And I knew from my experience that my job was really simple, is to tell the story, right? So I just started telling the story and it just started to grow like wildfire. And people, when they look at RIMAN and they use the products, they say, I've never seen anything like this. And the reason being is because never before in this industry of direct sales have we ever had a product as powerful as what we've got our hands on here at RIMAN. We've never had a product that literally can compete with you know, because it's a cosmeceutical product. We'll talk about that tonight, but it can compete with products that are basically that you need a prescription for. We can blow those products away. So when people see this product and the results they get and they see how clean it is, and they say, wait a second, it's K-Beauty and K-Beauty is growing big. And we're going to talk about that tonight. They say to themselves, you know what? They say the same thing that I saw. It would be just ridiculous for me to miss out on this. So right now, so many people are trying to get to be a part of RIMAN. Most people right now, they're looking for a chance. They're looking for a change. I've never seen it before in my life. I've never seen before where so many people right now are concerned about their finances because of what's happening right now with the economy. And this is the most uncertain economical time we've ever seen in the world's history, where people are so concerned about what's going to happen to me financially, because it's not just the fact that inflation's happening worldwide. It's also the fact that this AI technology is going to be taking away so many people's jobs, and all those industries that are going to be taken over by AI. These people are going to be forced to get into the workplace and take other jobs outside of what they've been doing. So people right now are like, I need to find a second income. I need to have a spare tire. I don't know if any of you have ever been in an unfortunate situation where you have a flat tire, right? It's happened to me before, and I pull off to the side of the freeway or the side of the road, and I open up my trunk, and I'm always excited when I see my spare tire. And I think most people in life, they don't have a financial spare tire. So most people are saying, man, I need to have a plan B. I need to have another stream of income. And most people don't have more time, right? Most people don't have more time where they've got free time where they can put it into, you know, getting a second job or getting a second career. But when they look at this industry and they look at what we're doing at RIMAN, they say, wait a second, this is not going to take no more time. This is not going to take me doing anything outside of the norm. All I got to do is use this product and change my face, and I can change my finances. And literally, it's so simple. Now, it does take work, but the reality is the work is something that we do anyways, which is talk to people. So tonight, we're very fortunate to be able to have one of the most effective communicators I've ever met in my life. I've had the good fortune and the opportunity to work with this gentleman for over a decade. And him and his wife and my wife, and we've all became family, you know. And he's you know, he's not just like a brother to me, but he's like a twin brother. Like, you know, we're so close, but he's got such an amazing ability to be able to cast a vision for you of what's happening in the world of RIMAN. And tonight, many of you are going to say to yourself, just like I said when I looked at RIMAN, this just absolutely makes sense. You're going to say to yourself, you know what, this is something that I want to take advantage of because more income's not going to hurt me. So why would I not want to get another stream of income and coming into my life? And when you take an honest look at RIMAN and you really take a look at what's available for you, tonight we're going to give you all the information that you need. Jermaine is actually going to give you all the information you need to be able to make an educated decision if RIMAN can help change you and your family's financial future. And tonight, you taking up your time, and obviously your buddy that invited you on tonight, them taking up their time. When we're all through tonight with this overview, get back to your buddy and ask him if you see it or not. You know, I'm a big believer, tell him yes or tell him no, because what I believe is a maybe or think about it tonight's way of saying no. And most people agree with me with that statement that maybe or think about tonight's way of saying no. Just let us know if you see it. If you see it, let's get trained. Let's learn how to do this. You couldn't be getting started at a better time because it's July 31st. A lot of big things are going on right now this month that you can take advantage of. And we've got an amazing call tomorrow at 5 p.m. Pacific, which is called our monthly rundown call, where we're going to be talking about all the exciting things that are happening in the month of August. So you couldn't be getting started at a better time. There's never a moment in time like this. I don't think it'll ever be recreated or duplicated again, where you've got a company that's done $2.5 billion. So you have the stability and credibility of a multi-billion-dollar company, but you have the income potential of a brand new company because we have first movers advantage all around the world. So I would definitely keep an open mind tonight. Grab a pen and paper and open up your heart and open up your mind, because Mr. Jermaine Johnson is going to give you the details for you to be able to make the educated decision. Let me just brag a little bit about Jermaine Johnson. It's not just his ability to be able to communicate. And when you really get a chance, and I don't know if he's got time tonight, hopefully he does, to tell you his background, but Jermaine Johnson, where he came from, and then you see his ability to be able to communicate, he literally took a weakness of his and he made it his number one strength. And I admire that so much about him. But he just knows how to make it happen. He knows how to help people become successful. He knows how to share with people the information for them to be able to make the decisions necessary to be able to get started in this business. So tonight, getting a chance to be able to hear from Jermaine is an absolute blessing for all of us. But I encourage you to open your heart tonight, because Mr. Jermaine Johnson is going to do an amazing job of painting an adequate picture of what's available for you with the RIMAN opportunity. So with that being said, let me get myself out of the way, and I'm going to turn it over to my brother from another mother, Mr. Jermaine Johnson. Thanks for being with us, and thanks for inviting me on the call, sir.
Wow, thank you, brother. I mean, phenomenal. And honestly, guys, everybody, look, he just gave you the presentation. He said it all. So I'm just going to give you the visual, because he told the story. He told you what you're going to see. So I'm going to show you. I'll also say, because, and I thank you all for playing team, because you all already removed it from the chat. But let me just say, for all of you all that are, and you do have your cameras on, just be mindful that this is a professional call. And if you think you're about to go to sleep or something, or if you're eating a lot and all of those type of distracting things, just turn your camera off. Is that all right? We love you. Thank you so much for playing team. With that said, because Tim said it, look, let me just say it up front. I apologize in advance, because I don't ever try to sound preachy, and I don't want to sound salesy, but let me just convey to you, or confess to you, my Dun & Bradstreet, back in my former life, back in like 2000, I was one of the top 5 youth pastors in the nation. I've been in Christianity Today, Promise Keepers, BT, TBN, all those types of things. Worked with Bishop Jakes on Manpower Conventions, Bishop Blake, Grand Old Church of God in Christ, all of those types of things. But it was there where some of the deacons in the church 30 some years ago started to take me around those Amway conventions, and A.L. Williams, and my great grandmother, she was selling Avon. Y'all remember Avon, skin so soft, left a ring around the tub, but it was good, right? And so look, we did all of that. And so I'm going to tell you up front, I've done everything. Amway, Primerica, ACN, XL, candle parties, shoe parties, lingerie parties. Y'all forgive me about that one. Pray for me. I'm sorry I did it. I've done everything. Cutco, Kirby, all the types of things. It was in legal services where I made about $1 million. But the thing is that I went from being broke, raking up pennies to buy hot dogs, 3 children, home in foreclosure, to making $30-some thousand in a day. And it was all because of way back then. I sat there and I said, you know what? If it can happen for those people, it can happen for me. But what Tim was alluding to is that I stutter. Look, I grew up, I have a speech impediment. They labeled me as handicapped. They said I should only do blue collar work, but I stuttered my way into making millions. So if I can do this presentation, you can put product on people or show people this wonderful product. But with that said, guys, I am truly going to abbreviate it because Tim just laid it out for us. So I'm going to go back to a screen share and then we're going to be done because it's the last day of the month and there's some people rank advancing and unlocking some of this compensation plan here that you're going to see. So as he was saying, look, we are RIMAN. For those of you that are taking notes, I'm just going to just kind of add in to, again, what Tim said. But RIMAN stands for Reborn, Rebirth, Gift of God, and Independence. Write those down. Reborn, Rebirth, Gift of God, and Independence. I love all of those. Now, also, just to show you, and this is what I needed to see from a business perspective, was it high risk? Had it been proven? And so this is what I needed to see, that it had already been established in 2018, had already earned or made about $2.5 billion in revenue. That's huge. Even during COVID, guys, we had been rated as the #1 K-beauty, had already sold 40 million bottles of just one of the active creams in South Korea. There's only 50 million people in South Korea. That's huge. And then they launched here in North America. I said, oh, and they launched March the 18th, 2023. So you mean to tell me they've only been around over some 24 so months or so? We got started 18 days after they started here in the United States. And so just to highlight there on the screen there, look, we told them to lease a building. They came out here and said, no, we want to show you that we are going to be a legacy company. So they purchased a 33,000 square foot building in the richest county of Southern California, Irvine, California, a 33,000 square foot building they purchased for $14 million. Said, no, we are going to show you. And then you see there the Hyundai Mall. I've been there. You see them advertising, and then the Insoderm in South Korea, our ICD line, that's our factory there, or our headquarters. And then on top of that, at the bottom there, those are from our conventions. And then the village, that what the company did, the owners took the first year's profit and they built us a RIMAN village in Jeju Island with like, right, condos and all those types of things for us to go over and to just relax in. It's amazing. So we just launched Taiwan, Hong Kong, Mexico, Malaysia, and Singapore. And you see some people in the chat because they're excited, because right now, today, over in the Philippines, they're already in pre-launch right now. This is Chairman Han. He was the #1 product formulator in all of Asia. To keep it simple, he looked at his daughter sleeping there and saw her with this glass youthful skin. And he said, man, what if I could create something whereas everybody, no matter what their ethnicity or skin type or age, could maintain their youthful glow? And he went to work and came up with RIMAN. And so from that, these are our 3 verticals: our ICD, which stands for intercellular dermatology, our Lab, which is our body care and our hair care, and then our lifening, right? And so this is what Tim was already alluding to. What we did, look, we created our own plant, guys. We took what is known as Asiatic pennyworth, tiger grass, Centella asiatica, and we took that plant and then we grew it to a larger dimension with Jeju lava energy water. I don't have time to do a geographical lesson here, but I will say this much. For those of you that are doing research and you're doing your due diligence, you know that under volcanoes, water is trapped for hundreds of thousands of years. Can you get this water in other places? Yes. In Spain, it's too sandy. In Japan, it's contaminated. In Hawaii, it's too deep. So the only place that you can get it from is over on Jeju Island, which is like the Hawaii of South Korea. And so we have a 20-year contract with them that nobody can use this in skincare but us. So this is why we are a non-me too. We don't do white labeling. This is what's so powerful. And then the nanolipos technology that Tim already told you about, because a lot of products out there, because I know you can go to Walmart and Target and Costco or right, even the mall, but a lot of these products, they only mask. They don't go to the lower epidermis of skin. This is why we say we just don't do skin care, we do skin repair. That was good, huh? Look here. And honestly, let me just throw this in. If you don't know, the United States had not passed federal regulation on the skincare industry since about 1938. Guys, we've only banned about 1,200 substances here. Our product is Germaderma tested and e-vegan certified. In other words, it's so clean, guys, that over in the EU, guys, they have banned about 30,000 substances in their products. Ours is Germaderma tested. Look, that's the best that there is, guys. Now, this is our RIMAN campus on Jeju Island, as Tim was alluding to. But here's what's so powerful and why we can do what we're doing is because we're able to do, because of the vertical integration, we're able to bring luxury skincare that works. See, because look, if something works, it will work. And you can only sell junk one time. So if it had already done 2.5 billion, now it's done 3 billion since I've been here. Y'all know. Look, but now look, understand, we're able to do it. This is how, because we don't have to transfer those costs to the people. We actually can create it from seed to sale, farm to face. Y'all got that? Because on the screen there, we have our own solar power stations, our own RIMAN farm, our own labs, our own water center, our own wind stations. Guys, we're able to do it all so we don't have those costs. And then the RIMAN farm down here on the bottom, you see the Beyond Pool plant, how large we grew it to. Some of you can go there with us in October, but just to show you what's going on over there, watch this.
Jeju Island, the birthplace of Inselderm, where nature and tradition inspire transformation. Made different, elevated to its full potential. The world's first and only smart farm for Pyeongpool. Introducing the first of its kind, Giant Pyeongpool. Infused with Jeju Lava Energy Water, a powerhouse of intense hydration and radiant vitality. Experience the legendary glow and lifting effect of K-Beauty. Experience the difference, a difference you'll love. The all-new Inselderm, RIMAN.
This is huge. And guys, what Tim was talking about, I've already told you about the village there. That just shows you what has already happened over there. And now this is our ICD, our intercellular dermatology. This is, we have a water base and an oil base. I will tell you guys, look, I use the water base during the day and the oil base at night. Now, I know some of y'all said, really? Come on now, you're a man. Look, the bro glow movement is real. Men are into skincare now and taking better care of themselves, guys. And then also, I know there's a couple of y'all said, but yeah, right, you're African-American male, right? Come on, y'all don't use skincare. No, look, grandmama lied to us because they told us black don't crack and beige don't age and Asian don't raisin, but that's a lie. I don't care what your ethnicity is. After 40, we all start to experience something called slippage. Y'all know what slippage is? That's when things start slipping and sliding in ways that you never thought, right? Come on, y'all. Let's keep it real. So skincare is so important. And just from a business standpoint, even if I don't talk to you again, I pray I do. Look, for my entrepreneurs on the line, look, this is what accountants call a vice stock. Right? Because there's about 5 industries that continue to soar during a recession or not. One is alcohol sales, gambling, pornography, sports, and health and wellness, particularly skincare, because people love to mask what they're going through. Oh, come on, y'all, let's keep it real. Even during COVID, when we were doing all the Zooms, we always took care of the top half of our body. We didn't care what we was wearing on the bottom. And we keep it real on the call here. So this is our full line here for your skincare. And for those of you that are seeing it like, oh, that's too many steps. No, guys, look, you can work in whatever your need is. but for my people there, look, it's 6 minutes, 7 products, 8 steps. 6, 7, 8, invest in your face. 9 and 10, true beauty starts from within. That's the collagen and the Deep Talk Plus. With that said, I believe that, look, pictures are worth thousands of words. So when I came here, I needed to see proof. And I needed to see that it worked for all ethnicities. And so I began to ask around, and we began to get the before after pictures. This lady here did not want the product to work. 14 days later, she came back and said, oh, do you see my skin? This lady over here, yes, I'll show it to you.
How old are you? 58? 55? 55. She's 55. And look at her skin.
55 with no wrinkles. That's incredible. That's me over in the corner. I began to see my eyes sagging, and I'm not going to go do the toxin and the fillers and all of those types of things. And so when my wife said, use the product, started to use the product, and you see what happened. In the middle there, MJ Kim from Atlanta, she had 4 children. After her 4th child, her body just took a turn. Her skin started to take a turn. She started to use the product, and you see the way she looks right now. Her skin is flawless. And then Tim, that you just saw on the line, that's the way he looked about 6, 7 years ago. That's his skin today. Amazing results, and the stories just go on and on. And so also, we just came out with what I call healthy makeup, because look, so many people are, of course, use makeup and all of that, but the way I say, look, the better the skin care, the less makeup that you'll have to wear. But still, makeup is huge, and the pores, especially through your lips. Look, your skin is the largest pore on the body, and so look, the things that people are putting in them, the toxins that are in some of these other makeups are just amazing. So we came out with a healthy makeup line, and guys, there's so many, like the Luminous Glow Cushion and the Glow Up Lip Oil. Now, look, I may not wear these, but if my wife so wears them and they get on me somehow, then I know about them. So I know about the Set and Stay makeup or spray. I know about the Velvet Matte Butter Lip Tint. See, I know these things. And so I'm just going to tell you, this right here is a vertical all by itself. Now, the body care and the hair care. It's beauty by veganology. It has desert cola in it, which is known as the miracle of the desert. And our body care even has collagen 3 in it. It feels like you're bathing in lotion. It's incredible. But over in Korea, the advertisements there, they don't put anything on TV there unless it's been clinically proven, unlike the United States. This is what has been proven, documented there, that using our hair care product, after 1 week of use, 83% of your scalp trouble level has decreased, 29% of your moisture level has increased, 20% of your strength level has increased in your hair. And after 4 weeks of use, 62% of your hair loss has decreased. That's incredible. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. People are growing their hair back in places they never thought. We have beauticians and barbers. So right now is where I want you to think bigger. I want you to think business. Yet I'm talking about the product. I want you to think distribution points. Who do you know that has skin? Who do you know that's an esthetician? Who do you know that's a barber, a beautician? Who do you know that has a day spa, right? These are types of distribution points that you can begin to tell them about these wonderful products, the #1 K-beauty brand. Now, Lifening, this is our Deep Talk Plus. And I didn't know that men and women should have 25 to 35 grams of fiber per day. I didn't know how many people, especially women, that struggle with regularity. I didn't know, guys, and I didn't know that not being regular leads to senility and dementia. So this is a product that people are ranting and raving about because it goes into your lower intestine, pulls out the toxin and debris. It is not intrusive, right? But I'm telling you, it will cleanse you, clean you out. And it's, I promise you, all of my wife's girlfriends come by here because it slims their waistline. So if they're traveling, they don't leave without that product. And then our collagen, guys, our beauty collagen, we even have restaurants that are now including it in their drinks and calling them beauty drinks. Oh, that's huge. So who do you know that owns a restaurant? Now, Get back with the person that invited you here and say, look, I want to try some of those products. And we have more than that, but guys, and we're bringing more and more shades and all of that. But get back with the person that invited you and say, you know what? I want to get my story. I want to have a before after, guys. But with that said, let me talk about the business here. Guys, it would be remiss if I didn't tell you about this, because right now, though, with our socioeconomic climate, people are looking for ways just to offset the cost of living. 64% of the people today are living paycheck to paycheck. 48% of people that are earning over six figures right now are living paycheck to paycheck. 48% of people, according to Scranton University, are not prepared for a $400 emergency. Guys, look, this is huge. Guys, if you position yourself, you see, my mentor taught me, hey, you see, the way to wealth is to find out where everybody else is going and you get there first. And if you're the only one contributing to your income, you forfeit your right for financial freedom in the United States of America. And if you don't learn to make money while you sleep, you will work until you die. So I want you to really pay attention here, because you can be first to market here. You can have distribution point and franchising rights. So from a business standpoint, K-Beauty did 10 billion just here in the US in 2019. It's predicted to go up to 30 billion by 2029. The K influence is everywhere. Korean influence. Netflix just said 60% of its watchers are watching something with Korean content. Guys, the Grammys, K-pop music has its separate section in the Grammys, right? And in the music industry, Shake Shack just added on a Korean inspired menu. So from a business standpoint, it just makes sense. Vogue just said Korean skincare is like living in the year 2050. And then it was actually said in May that this is going to be one of the largest imported products in the United States. That's huge, guys. So look, we used to live in the day of brick and mortar. Now we live in the day of click and order. Y'all like that? 71% of people they buy from brands and people they follow online. See, it's also called the retail apocalypse. See, whereas people go to the mall, but yet they just touch it or feel it, and they come back and they still try to buy it online. So this is where, who do you know? Who do you know with skin, right? Who do you know that's trying to look younger or feel better? What if you could just tell them about something that you found that's life-changing and that you saw before a lot of other people in the nation and in the world are even seeing it, and they begin to use it, and you generate additional income just to offset the cost of living, just to pay some bills. I was just talking to a lady the other day, and she said, I'm not looking for an easy way out. I'm just looking for an easier way. And then I talked to someone else, and they said, look, I'm just trying to find a way to breathe again, just to breathe, right? And so this is huge, because you can do online, but then also, of course, amongst the people that you know, but then also B2B. I want you to think bigger. Think distribution points, guys. Now, everybody can get started as a customer, get 5% rewards just like they do in Sephora, all those types of things. But I'm going to encourage you to become a brand ambassador, right? I'm going to encourage you to get started as a planner, as you see there. But at that point, I call it brand ambassador, a brand partner, because this is perfect for those of you that are on this line. You're in the social media space, affiliate marketer, right? Because this is broken down into three parts. The affiliate marketer space, that's where you get started. You get started for $20. Did he say $20? He did. $20, you get started for $20. All of your accounting, your bookkeeping, all of your back office, your URLs, your shopping carts, all of those things, your signage and things that you can post with is all done for you, right? And you can get started, and everything that you purchase and everything that someone purchases from you, you're getting 10% rebate. Is that good? 10% is good. I mean, the church, right? God asked you for 10%. 10% is good, right? But now, the manager and senior manager position, those are positions for people that you understand, or you understand social selling, social retailing. And this is powerful, because at the manager position, once you eclipse about 3,000 SP or 6,000 SP, that's about $3,500 in sales or $6,600 in sales. You begin to get 20% rebate or 30%. That's huge. Now, here's the thing. You don't, you can do that in a 3-month period, or you can get started at that position. So for those of you that understand having the best return on investment, and you have a means of distribution, you have influence, you have people around you that they would love this product, you can get started by purchasing up to that and start off at that. Then team leader and above, that's for people that, look, you love yourself. You love helping people live up to their full potential. You love helping people. You like network marketing, affiliate marketing, relationship marketing. You know it works if you work it. That's all of that. Now, there's about 5 other ways to make money. Retail up to 54%, open group up to 30%, unilevel there up to 5%. Leadership overrides, guys, another 4%, revenue share, another 1%, leadership team match, another 4. We have a video to explain all of that. I don't have time to go into that, but it's one of the most lucrative compensation revenue sharing plans ever. Let me give you a hypothetical. Let's just say you want to do affiliate marketing, and let's say you enroll 10 customers a month for 12 months on average order, 200 BP at 50%, you're making an extra $12,000 a month part-time. I didn't say quit your job. Wages earn your living, profits earn your fortune. Work full-time on your job, part-time on your fortune. Let's say you do half of that, that's an extra $6,000. Let's say you don't do anything, that's fine. Everything isn't for everybody. Everybody isn't for everything. But there's a lot of people on this line. You're closing this month out because you understand this unilevel and having at least 1,000 BP, because this is huge, guys. Once you have 1,000 BP, let's say you get started tonight, July, and let's say August, September, October, November, December, you have about 1,000 people on your team, brand partners, and they're all doing 1,000 BP because they want this additional unilevel income. Guys, that's an extra $33,000 coming into your household part-time. Let's say they have the 90 to 10% rule success failure rate. That's still $3,300. Right? If they get 90% wrong, 10% right, can you do that? But let's say they double that, $66,000. We got people doing that here part-time. Part-time, $66,000. Crazy. Now, you get started with product, and July is upon us, closing out tonight. So this is how people, if you want to get started at the senior manager position and all that, you would get 4 of these kits where you have product to share, to resell, right? And to use as well. So you could get 4 of these and you start off at that, right? So for those of you that think in terms of investment and not cost, this would be it. But just individually, you can get this kit where it gives you all of the product as well as some experience kits to allow people to sample, guys. That's powerful. I just took an experience kit over to a med spa and they said, oh my God, this is it. And they want to carry it in their store. This is the second premium kit. It gives you the shampoo as well, and the conditioner and oil serum and some of the lightening. Now, this would be a starter kit plus for lesser other products, right? And so you can get started there, but you also have free products. And for those of you that just want to put your toe in the water, this is a starter kit X line. This is enough for just you, so you get your regimen. So wherever you want to start at, these are the kits, 2 additional kits with just the experience kits. This is the equivalent kits over in Canada for our brothers and sisters there. And just to show you from a business standpoint what is going on, I do want to give you this business testimony.
So I saw this and I'm like, hey, this is something that I could do while my clients are probably getting a treatment. They might be sitting under the hair steamer. They might be laying back in the sink. This is something I could do. We do have a skincare department in my spa. I have a skincare specialist that, do these services. But this is something you could probably do on somebody, 15, 30 minutes, and they're going to see the results right away, and they're going to want the product. That is what attracted me to it. I know that the Koreans are notorious for making the best skincare product. Like I said, I don't know what they put in it, but you see the results right away. Like one of my former employees flew to Korea a few months ago just to go buy skincare. And then when I heard that this was the #1 company, I didn't see why I shouldn't partner with them. I mean, my clients are people like Paris Hilton, Naomi Campbell, Claudia Jordan, Aaliyah, Ashanti. I mean, the list goes on. And then I have the hip hop dudes too, like Rick Ross, T.I., Memphis Bleak, Ludacris, Venus and Serena Williams, Dwayne Wade, Shaquille O'Neal. So my list is long, right? It's very impressive. So I know these people are into taking care of their skin. So this is a product that I see that could, enhance my business.
Guys, look, maybe you aren't an esthetician, but what if you were the person that signed her up and she's an esthetician to the stars? Guys, this is huge. Think distribution points. So with that said, as I bring it to a close, tonight, today, this is what we call pay period deadline, because everything that you get done tonight, you will be paid out on the third Tuesday of the month. And this is why we're getting off of this call and we're going all the way to midnight. Also, because there's some people here rank advancing. So we want to look, we want to go. Also on tomorrow, what Tim was talking about, the monthly rundown. And then, as I already alluded to, the Philippines pre-launch events, guys, and you know that they're about 12 hours ahead of us, all those types of things. So, because I was just out there. So look, they're already into August 1st. So these things are going, they're about to happen now. People are excited. Packed out events in the Philippines. So who do you know? It's never too late to invite someone out, even though I don't know how they're going to get in, but they'll get them in, guys. Just tell them you're with me. All right. Look, with that said, guys, of course, for those of you that say, you know what, look, I just want to have fun. Yes, I want good skin, right? Yes, I want to make some money, but I want to have fun too. Well, that's why we're going to Vegas. We're having our convention, guys, in about 35 days. All of us here on this line are going to be in Las Vegas. You want to make sure you make it to this event. Guys, this is going to be life-changing for so many people. Make sure you get here to this event. I'm done. Look, as I close this thing out, I was on a call with Robert Kiyosaki years ago, and he said that the majority of people, they don't achieve their full potential because they fail to operate in the collective efforts. They fail to work together. And then so many people spend their entire life, what he calls a cash flow quadrant, on the wrong side of the quadrant as an employee or self-employed. And that's where 95% of people are, but 5% of the wealth is. And he said, you got to get to the right side of the quadrant. That's where you become a business owner. And from there, you use that to leverage so you can become an investor. Because so many people, they spend their entire life working on a pension and they don't ever pursue their passion. They say it's a sad thing here in America today. One mother can raise 4 children a day, but 4 children can't retire one mother. You go to the Walmart, you see our grandparents still working. Go to the airport, you see our grandparents still working. Took one Bill Gates to change his family tree, one Oprah to change her. Who will change yours? And maybe you're not Bill Gates or Oprah, but let me give you this statistic. Do you know there's 1,700 millionaires created every day in the United States? Do you know that every person gets about 4 life-changing, legacy-leaving ideas every 3 months? So you get 4 per year, but 99.99% of people, they don't ever act on it. Last statistic I'll give you, 52% of people live in present fear or past regret. I pray that Tim said something or I said something that will get you over that fear. You don't have anything to lose. You've been looking for a tribe like this. Get with us. Get with the person that invited you here and say, you know what, I want in. But then I don't want you to be in that regret. Whereas you're seeing this for some reason tonight. If you're a guest on here, and I say a coincidence is God's way of remaining anonymous, because there's a couple of you here, you've been looking for something. Guys, don't want you to have that regret, whereas in 5 months, 6 months, your neighbor, your coworker invites you over to their house for a K pop-up, a sip and sample, a fountain of youth party, a glow up party, and you walk in there and you see that it's RIMAN. And you're like, man, I remember about that. Guys, get back with the person that invited you here and tell them, look, I want in on this. I want to be a part of this. This is something I can do. Guys, look, we love you to life. I don't love anybody to death. I love you to life, but I want you to live your dreams. I want you to live it out loud, and I want you to live it in the ultimate freedom. Get back with the person that invited you and tell them, how do I get started? With that said, it's been a pleasure. Y'all be blessed. Let's close out the month strong. I'll see you over tomorrow in August, and let's just go ahead and get this thing done tonight for everybody on the line. Love you all. Bye. Bye. I'm done. Bye. Bye. Bye, Miss Lisa. Bye, Janet.